Okay, in this video, we'll look at a simple shift cipher. We'll move over to our slides and take a look at our question. Given a string of size n, encrypt the string by pushing each letter one step forward. For example, if you're given the string hello world and you program, your output will be this right here. ifmmp for hello, xpsme for world. Every character is shifted one space to the right. Looking at our function header here, our first step is to initialize our return string. And then we're going to iterate through the string and look at every character and see how we want to operate on it. Now, if S is equal to Z or capital Z, we'll just replace it with an A and concatenate it to our return string. Else, if it's between A and Z or between uppercase A and Z, we're going to take the character, cast it as a number, add 1 to it, recast it as a character, add it to our return string. And then finally we return our string. Oh, one more step. If it's any other character or a space, we'll preserve the space, but we'll replace any other character with a space. Add it to our return string. Our test string is just the whole alphabet right here. So our outcome should be every character shifted one space to the right. We roll over to our output and something has gone wrong, went wrong. Well, not only are we missing characters, we have duplicate alphabet. So this is our first bug buster. Find the bug in the code and post it in the comments. Actually, there's 3 bugs in the code. This should be our output for a lowercase alphabet. Now we could have another test string of an uppercase alphabet to see our results there as well. But we already know something's wrong with this, so let's move on and make some corrections. Our second attempt. You see it's broken down into 2 functions now. Now the question is, when do you decide to break a chunk of code up into separate functions? That's kind of subjective, but there are some guidelines. And one is, how big of a cluster of code are you working on? Get it hard to keep track of what you're doing. Well, that's a good clue right there. Start breaking it up, encapsulating it into smaller chunks that you can actually keep in your head and manage. Another guideline is it going to be a piece of code? Is there some lines of code there that you're gonna want to come back and enhance or optimize? That's a good place to say, let's just make that into a function. And then third and most importantly, do you have a piece of code that's going to be like really reusable in a lot of different situations? That's a perfect functionable code right there. In this code, you can see we start with our main runner. We take a string, we initialize our result, and we iterate through the string, and we check for input. If it's in between uppercase, between lowercase a and lowercase z, or uppercase a, lowercase z, then we're going to encrypt. And see here, this is where we've actually have a separate function to do the encryption, and we're only operating on one character. If the character is equal to z, we replace it with a lowercase a. If the character is equal to uppercase z, we replace it with an uppercase a. Now, if the character is not a z, convert the character to ASCII. Okay, I use the terminology cast. We cast the character to a number, add 1 to it, recast as a character, and then return it. And when it's returned, it's added to result. Now, if we had any other character or spaces, they're just preserved in this function, right? So the last time we were replacing all non-alphabetic characters with space, here we're preserving those characters, and then we return result. So when we run this function, we find out that the final outcome is correct. This is our test string. Once again, we should have another test string of uppercase characters, but for brevity, we only have our one test string. But where's the confetti? That's the question now. Where's the confetti? If you like these kind of problems, like cipher problems, you like looking for vulnerabilities, indicators of compromise, there's a site that I just wanted to point out to you. It's called securityblue.team. And they have a bunch of free courses. It's very expensive if you want to take the paid courses, but there's some free courses that are worthwhile. I've done this one. There's some open source intelligence operations, get you up to speed on what kind of tools and things for the dark web. It's a sanitized, containerized environment, so you're not at risk. And there's a little cypher action in there. So I just throw that out there. Once again, I wouldn't recommend paying for any of the courses, but I would definitely recommend the free courses. So if you found anything useful in the video, give it a thumbs up. If you find the bugs, report it in the comments. Hope to do better next time. See ya.